Well, today I thought I'd give you a brief tour of my front yard because we have not been out here for a while and we just had about a week of rain, so you'll also be seeing a lot of weeds. But first I want to show you this part of my yard, which is on the side of my driveway. Let me give you a look down this pathway as to what I've got going on here. Okay, I've got a Mangave there, and I think this is a Manfreda, and you can see how huge it is. And this is a paddle plant. Everything is looking really great after the rain, at least the plants in the ground. And I'll show you the other side. Now, I can't remember the name of this, but it grows in the desert. And you can see this nut sedge. This stuff is really horrible. Oh, I got that one out by the root. Now would be the time to pull all this stuff. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. But anyway, this is what we've got going down here. This succulent is getting ready to bloom. And my paddle plant here is beginning to bloom out, but that is no problem because I have several babies here. And another Mangave. It had, well, it still has a little bit left. It might be, I better get in there and clean that milii bug, but I'll get the rest of that. There was a bunch in here and I got rid of it. Then some ghost plant I planted down in here. This is the other side of it. Let's get this guy as long as I'm here. Ooh, got it by the root. Ooh, that's good news. Now this can be divided up. I can pull all these pups out. That's some type of aloe, and spread that in other spots. Okay, let me show you back here. Now here is my Opuntia snow fuzzy. And that has gotten really big, and I have pulled 2 pieces off of that and planted them in the ground. I'll show you where one is. But this is what we have down in here. More weeds. Yeah, now is the perfect time to pull these when it is really wet out. Yeah, in fact, when I'm done making this video, I think I'm going to get out here and pull some of these weeds. That is an Eve's needle. It's kind of an odd spot for it. Maybe at some point I'll move it into another spot. Now this is kind of rotting down in there. It's in the shade. Well, no, actually the center died out, but the rest of it is looking okay. That is my Peruvian apple cactus. And it bloomed periodically throughout the summer and early fall. I didn't get a bunch of blooms at once. At first I thought I wasn't going to have blooms at all, but they were coming periodically, so that was kind of nice. And I have a Crassula in this pot, elephant food down there, Portulacaria. And of course my big stick's on fire. It's getting ready to take on more of a red color since it's getting cold. All right, and this is one side of my driveway. And I had a cordyline here where this rock was, and that bit the dust. So I think it was too much heat and not enough water this summer, so I pulled that out recently. However, my Pachypodium lemurei is doing fantastic, and it has not lost any of its leaves due to the colder weather. Everything in here is a little bit small, and I have some agaves in here. Here's another one. And then just a mix match of some succulents there. And this is, oh gosh, white lavender I put in here, so hopefully that will take off. Then of course here are the barrel cactus. They have grown quite a bit this year, especially this one in the middle. And the name of this always slips my mind. It might come to me later. If I remember, I'll put the name across the screen, but this, I took some pups off of this and planted it elsewhere. Another paddle plant there, and those are all plants that, babies that I got from other locations in my yard. And a lot of these plants have been spread by pups from other plants, plus small baby plants that I put in here. This is my tiger. Oh gosh, can't remember the name of that one either, but it's getting ready to bloom. Another Mangave there. And I'll move some of these apart once they get bigger, give them a little more space. And this is one of those purple Opuntias. I'll put the name across the screen, but it's not purple right now. I have it shielded by behind the rock. It was getting pretty fried there for a while. Another, okay, I don't know. Oh, that's just burned from the sun right here. That's not scale. Yeah. Oh, maybe it is. I might need to treat this guy. It might be scale. It's an Echeveria Black Prince. And here is another, I think that might be a Mangave or a Manfreda. And another Agave in here. Okay, so that is one side of my driveway. Let me bring you over to the other side. Oh, as long as we're here, we've got this big blimp that's flying up there. Check it out. And on, whoops, there it is. On the side of it, it says Marty Supreme. Now this is the second time I have seen that fly over our area. It's kind of cool. I think Marty Supreme, when I first saw it, I looked it up. I think it is a movie. There, we'll watch it for a second. That's pretty cool. And I think it says Dream on the bottom underneath it. Right up over our house. All right, let's get back to the plants. Okay, here's one of the cordylines that did make it. They were supposed to match. Oh. They were supposed to match like the one on the other side of the driveway. This is a cacti I just recently transplanted here, and now I remember the name of that purple type cactus. It is Santa Rita, Opuntia Santa Rita. So I have two of them. Okay. And then Portulacaria over there, afra. Now this has grown quite a bit. My husband and I transplanted this almost about maybe 9 months ago, and it's doing really well here. It was a little closer to the edge of the driveway, and I was worried, you know, that we might scrape the car because it's starting to grow an arm here. And I have another pot full of jade here, and this old little broken mission that I've kept here. If I touch it, it'll probably fall apart. Oh, and that is not Desert Rose. That name will come to me later too. I don't think I had enough coffee this morning. All right. Here, this is kind of a mess in here. This is just a match of everything that's underneath our underneath the window here. And that is a Pedilanthus, not bractea, it's the other one. But this rain, everything really liked it. I mean, things are taking off. Weeds too. I need to get in here and clean the leaves out of that. Here is another cacti here. That one is quite wicked. And this is a cutting that I took from that Peruvian apple cactus. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe eventually give it away, because I don't need another huge one here. Oh, here's another look at the Marty Supreme blimp. It's heading out. All right, back to the plants. Here's some lavender in here I recently planted. That is, this right here is Manzanita. Pedilanthus bracteatus, that one is doing rather well. Here is another Euphorbia, variegated one, a really small one. And that's some type of bush type aloe. Sticks on fire doing okay. This is my, oh, it's something Chichipe that I planted in here. That is doing pretty good too. Okay, and here is a Mangave I planted in here. That is looking good. Now this guy, this has wicked tips, but not sure why these tips are looking like that. Don't know if it's got a problem. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. You can see that. Here's a cordyline that I just recently replaced. Yeah, now if any of these dies, that's it. No more cordyline. And here are my, I'll put the name across the screen. There's another one on the other side. I think that is a Candelabra cactus, and that will get huge. Here is another snow Opuntia, fuzzy snow. That's one of the cuttings that I took from that snow Opuntia that was on the side of my driveway. I recently transplanted some Aeonium kiwi here, and I had that in a pot, and it's looking pretty happy. Of course, another stick's on fire. Agave attenuata, that is the name. And they were pretty ratty looking when I first purchased them, but they're looking better, and they'll look even better eventually. My other Mangave in the pot, several pups there. Another stick's on fire back there in the corner. My hope is to get more height in here. Those sticks on fire will get pretty tall. And so will those cordylines, but they're slow growing. Hopefully I'll be dead and gone before they reach their full size, because they get huge. All right. Here is another lavender. And this is another Pedilanthus bracteatus. This one was not doing so well. So I don't know what the problem is. It might have got too hot because I planted them when it was pretty hot out. This side is okay. I'll just have to keep an eye on this one. But it's not looking that great. This thing needs to be cleaned up desperately. I'll cut apart. Now this pipe that you see here, it would be great if we could run it underground, but it takes the water up off of the roof. So we put an extension on it, and we have it run down to this dry stream bed. Now it's difficult in this video to see exactly the depth of this, but you can see all the leaves I need to clean out. And these, most of these in here are California natives. This thing is humongous, and it stays nice looking year round. I love this plant. I mean, it's not fussy at all. Here's some new growth on this one. Now this plant here gets real pretty daisy-like yellow flowers. And I have some new growth here. This spring, these will be loaded with flowers. Okay, and I put my Euphorbi along with this Crassula undulata. That was the Crassula undulata was there first, and then I put some Euphorbi in, and I just recently cut it all back. So let me give you a wider view. Okay, now this is my little garden that I have planted on the corner here. That is a Hesperaloe, red yucca. That's a little sickish, and aloe. Well, actually it has pups. I'll cut some of that dry, ugly stuff off later. This is another type of aloe right here, variegated. And then I planted all these little guys kind of like in a swoop around here, but they're really difficult to see, especially in the summer. I think that's also called a black something. I can't remember the name of it. Now these guys are huge. They're doing really well in here. Here's an Eve's needle that I have here. I have had it here for about 3 years. It's not doing great. I need to get it out of here. There's another Hesperaloe and another one down here. Okay, I'll give you a look at it from the corner. Ooh, sun's coming out. Yeah, I think we are done with our rain for about a week, so that's good. It'll give everything a nice chance to dry out. All right, so that is it for now. I'll do my backyard, a complete backyard tour at a later date. I want to thank you for watching. Check back with me next time to see what I'm up to. Bye.